Fortnite Chapter 5 has been pretty dog shit, and it's coming to an end, but this got me thinking, what is the worst season in the history of Fortnite? Now, there are over 30 seasons to choose from, and this is not my opinion. I got this right off the website, Fortnite.gg. And before this video starts, I already made a video doing the best seasons in the history of Fortnite, so if you guys want to go check that out, that's going to be linked down below. Also, before the video starts, make sure you guys go subscribe so I can keep making more videos like this, but without further ado, let's hop right into this. The 10th worst season in the history of Fortnite is going to be Chapter 2, Season 8. Now, this was the final season in all of Chapter 2, and we got to see our map get destroyed by the Cube Queen. But we knew something was wrong when we logged into the game, and the map hadn't changed since after the live event from Chapter 2, Season 7. Along with this, we also got the sideways weapons and the sideways biome, both of which were pretty bad. Not only did none of us use the sideways weapons, but the sideways biome was so unappealing, and whenever you entered the biome, there was always a bunch of zombies that you had to kill, and it just felt like a massive chore. The only appealing part about the season was that Kevin the Cube finally came back, and we knew that we were getting a chapter-ending event at the end of the season. The event wasn't that bad, though.
Hey, Clicks, touch the cube if you like kids.
Okay, you're fucking weird, bro. What the fuck are you doing?
That brings us into our 9th worst season of all time, and that's Chapter 3, Season 2. Now, this season started without builds, which ruffled a bunch of feathers in the community. But it also was very smart on Fortnite's part because it allowed all the players who started to hate the building aspect of the game to be able to play and have a bunch of fun again. This season also brought both sprinting and mantling, which have been in the game ever since. We were also introduced to the idea of overshield, which would come into play during the zero build mode. Also, since this season was all based on war, we got blimps in the sky and we got the reintroduction of cannons back into the game. At the end of the season, we got a live event with the mech returning, and this honestly took us nowhere, so I think this season is pretty fairly rated. And that's going to bring us into our next season, which is going to be Chapter 5, Season 2. Now, this season honestly had a lot of potential, but we should have known something was wrong when the season got a massive delay at the beginning. However, as soon as we started up the game, we were gifted a bunch of content with new biomes and new mythics to work with. We got both the Underworld and Mount Olympus, which in my opinion looked really cool. We got Zeus's lightning bolt, which I thought was overpowered. The Wings of Icarus, which would allow you to fly over the entire map. 4 new medallions, which had different powers than whatever bullshit we had the season before. And a couple of new weapons, such as the Gatekeeper shotgun. But the main issue was, it seemed like Fortnite wasn't giving us enough content to work with at a certain point. They gave us legendary bananas and the chains of Hades, and that was about it. I honestly thought they could have done so much better with this season, just like our next season, which is going to be Chapter 2, Season 5. Now, in my opinion, this season wasn't all that bad. But I guess when you're coming off a season like Chapter 2, Season 4, the expectations are just so high. We got a whole new sand biome as soon as we logged on, exotic weapons, we got gold and bounties. I mean, what wasn't there to like? Well, maybe it was the fact that they removed pumps. And it's not like they replaced it with the scuffed version like they did back in Chapter 2, Season 3. They completely removed it and replaced it with the lever action shotgun. Also, sand tunneling was completely bugged, but at least the Mandalorian sniper and jetpack were pretty cool. I personally believe that this season would be ranked so much higher if the pump was in the game. But the season wasn't all that bad when you compare it to the 6th worst season in Fortnite's history, which is Chapter 2, Season 1. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you guys that this season was terrible because it was honestly a pretty good season. I mean, we got a whole new map. And all the graphics got completely changed, which was a pretty refreshing change for most of the players who have been playing for so long. Also, the black hole event that shut down Fortnite for multiple days had expectations of the new season being so high. We were also given new mechanics such as fishing, swimming, and carrying knocked players. Epic Games claimed that they wanted to refresh Fortnite and slow down the pace, and slow down the pace they did, because this season ended up lasting for 128 days, which is the longest season in the history of Fortnite. We did end up getting the Winterfest cabin for the first time ever in this season, so that was pretty cool. But that was nothing like the 5th worst season in Fortnite's history, which is Chapter 3, Season 3. Now, the name of the season was called Vibing, which really didn't sum it up as a whole because I don't think there was any vibe this season. Now, I get what they were trying to do because the war from Chapter 3 Season 2 was over, but it just didn't hit. The only interesting POI that we got this season was the reality tree, and this season was notorious for having the worst guns that we've ever seen in Fortnite. The 2-shot shotgun and the charge SMG were honestly awful, and if I ever see them come back to the game, I'll probably quit playing. We did get some pretty cool collabs because we got Darth Vader, Indiana Jones, and Dragon Ball Z all in one season. I honestly maybe played a total of 3 games this season, but for how bad I'm making it sound, it is so much better than our number 4 spot, which is going to be Chapter 3 Season 4. Now, this was the Chrome season, and although it looked cool, we would soon realize how bad it really was. Now, the ability to phase through walls was pretty sick, and the Evo Chrome weapons upgrading with damage was a pretty cool concept, but we soon realized how bad these guns actually were. I mean, if anybody actually used an Evo Chrome shotgun as their main shotgun, you probably had something wrong with you. Plus, this was the last season in all of Chapter 3, and the live event that we got to go with it was the worst chapter ending event that we have ever seen. And that's not debated at all. The main villain, the Herald, was killed by the Chrome, and the island just ended up exploding. Then we were stuck piecing the island back together while doing a bunch of creative challenges. But just because the live event was bad doesn't mean the season was completely awful, because we're heading into our top 3 with the 3rd worst season of all time being Chapter 5 Season 3. Now, this season brought along an entire giant sand biome, and the main focus of the season was cars. I mean, you were able to upgrade cars with very minimal effort, and they started to become overpowered. We also got the Nitro Fist this season, which were very fun to use, but not very fun when getting used against you. It seemed like the only way to get a win this season was to just deck out a car and sit in it the entire game with your squad. I mean, the only thing people really enjoyed about this season was the introduction of Fortnite Reload, which had nothing to do with the original season plan, so if that doesn't teach Epic Games a lesson, I don't know what will. In my eyes, this season was pretty awful. At a certain point, it just started to feel like it wasn't Fortnite anymore. But that's gonna bring us into our 2nd worst season of all time, and that's gonna be Chapter 4 Season 3. Now, for you guys who know me enough, you guys already know that I'm not a fan of Chapter 4. But this season came with the entire jungle biome as well as the mudslide mechanic. Also, it had those little jungle vaults that I thought were pretty cool. However, the loot pool this season absolutely sucked. We had the boomerang, which was absolutely useless, the drum shotgun, the flapjack rifle, the wasp jar, the thermal DMR, and the cloak gauntlet, all in one season. Along with that, they gave us the MK Alpha, which was pretty much just a bad version of the MK7, and halfway through the season, we got the sharp tooth shotgun, which was a reskin of a spaz with worse stats. Which brings us to what this video has all been leading to. The worst season in the history of Fortnite is Chapter 2 Season 2. Okay, that was obviously a joke, but I got you guys, right? What I meant to say was Chapter 2 Season 6. This season is the definition of dog shit. Epic Games decided to remove all the weapons that we loved, and they took a big primal dump in the middle of the island. I mean, using a bow and arrow is cool, but why use a bow if you could use a sniper? Oh wait, they removed the snipers. And I don't know who thought it was a good idea to replace all the weapons with makeshift weapons, but whoever it was should have been fired on the spot. And for whatever reason, they thought that crafting was going to be a good idea, but it just took so much time away from the game that we were supposed to be playing. Plus, the primal shotgun was overpowered, and we got these mythic boots that nobody remembered. I honestly don't think it's possible for Fortnite to make a worse season than this. And that's it. Those are the top 10 worst seasons in the history of Fortnite as ranked by Fortnite.gg. Once again, guys, these are not my opinions, so please do not flame me in the comments. But if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you like and comment down below what you guys think was the worst season in the history of Fortnite. And don't forget, I did make a video talking about the top 10 seasons in Fortnite's history, so if you guys want to check that out, that's going to be linked down below.